All right, so we ended here. We are going to go over the passage again, then answer the questions. Well, I think Karen can talk. Sakofi, I don't know if you can talk. Sakofi, are you available to talk? Can you?
Yeah, Ravi.
Okay. So, so Nana K.
Hey boy, all right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Nana K.
mankind.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, baby, nothing that we can. And I repeat it.
Yeah. Let's go over it. Because I
Okay.
think there was additive declension.
That's
So
Alice and here GPS. GPS ist wichtig für das Navigationsgerät im Auto. Das GPS kann aber noch viel mehr. Wer Schröder muss einkaufen. Ihr Fahrrad steht vor dem Supermarkt. Es ist ganz neu. Für Diebe ist so ein Fahrrad interessant. Zu interessant. Nach einer halben Stunde will Frau Schröder nach Hause fahren. Doch ihr Fahrrad ist weg. Herr Schröder ist aber nicht nervös.
Schruder, A-R, immer, A-R in German and then S-A.
Schröder, okay.
So.
Ist aber nicht nervös. Sie weiß, ihr Fahrrad steht in einer Straße hinter der Post. Denn an ihrem Fahrrad ist ein GPS-Sender. Schon bald kann die Polizei das Fahrrad zurückholen. Ich mag das Ding nicht. Es ist schrecklich. Manuela ist wütend. Sie ist wütend. Sie ist 14 Jahre alt und möchte mit ihren Freunden ausgehen. Doch sie muss ihr GPS-Handy mitnehmen. Und sie muss es auch einschalten. Denn da können ihre Eltern sehen, wo sie ist. Wo sie ist. Das GPS zeigt Manuelas Position.
ZSTS, sites, Oh, yeah.
Das GPS zeigt Manuelas Position. Experten finden die ID von Manuelas Eltern nicht gut.
ID, wie Ida, so ID.
Ja, genau. Die von Manuelas Eltern nicht gut. Zu viel Kontrolle ist schlecht. Zu viel Kontrolle ist schlecht. Kinder brauchen auch Freiheit, meinen Sie. Günther Müller steht vor einer roten Ampel und wartet. Er trägt einen MP3-Player.
MP3. What you say three? What you say three and dry at the same time? So dry.
MP3. Yeah, claro.
MP3. Ja.
Im Straßenverkehr sind MP3-Player oft ein Problem, denn man kann die Auto nicht gut hören. Aber Gunther braucht seinen MP3-Player. Er will in der Apotheke Tabletten kaufen. Rosenapotheke, sagt Gunther laut. Dann hört er genau zu. Er geht los, zuerst geradeaus, dann nach rechts, dann nach links. Sie sind am Ziel. Hört er. Richtig. Hört ihr. Richtig. Links neben dem Supermarkt ist die Apotheke. Günther Müller ist blind. Er kann nicht sehen. In seinem MP3-Player ist ein GPS. Das GPS beschreibt den Weg. Ja.
So, ja, danke. So, ich wiederhole dann. Please pay attention to the pronunciations. So Bearda is I said O umlaut is like BIRD bird, but Bruni can bear like when an American is saying bird, like he or she won't say bird, it's a bird, bird. The bird is flying. So the in the American accent for the bird. Yeah. So they're shrewder. Okay. Shrewder moves einkaufen. Ihr Fahrrad steht vor dem Supermarkt. Er ist ganz neu. Für Diebe ist so ein Fahrrad interessant, zu interessant. Nach einer halben Stunde will Frau Schröder nach Hause fahren. Doch ihr Fahrrad ist weg. Der Schröder ist aber nicht nervös. Nervös, okay? Nervös. Sie weiß, ihr Fahrrad steht in einer Straße hinter der Post. Den an ihrem Fahrrad ist ein GPS-Sender. Schon bald kann die Polizei das Fahrrad zurückholen. Zurückholen. Ich mag das Ding nicht. Es ist schrecklich. Manuel ist wütend. Sie ist 14 Jahre alt und möchte mit ihren Freunden ausgehen. Doch sie muss ihr GPS-Handy mitnehmen und sie muss es auch einschalten. Denn dann können ihre Eltern sehen, wo sie ist. Das GPS zeigt, zeigt Manueles Position. Experten finden die Idee von Manuele. I know it's because Experten, okay? AV email, but you see, expert is kind of international word, okay? International word. So Experten or that the normal, if you want to go for the German accent, Experten, you are also restless, okay? But because it's a universal word, like it's a borrowed word from English. That's why in English you say experts. The expert. So sometimes in German you hear experten instead of the experten. Yeah. But either way, whether you go for the English accent or the German accent, you are right. Okay. I said only for the borrowed words from English. Yeah. Finden die Idee von Ida. So Idee von Manueles Eltern nicht gut. Zu viel Kontrolle ist schlecht. Kinder brauchen auch Freiheit, meinen sie. Günther Müller steht vor einer roten Ampel und wartet. Er trägt einen MP3-Player. So in German would have said player, okay, but because it's an internationally used word, player, das ist richtig. Im Straßenverkehr, okay, oder Verkehr, okay, Verkehr oder Verkehr sind MP3 oft ein Problem, den man kann die Autos nicht gut hören. Okay? Okay? Aber Günther braucht seinen MP3-Player. Er will in der Apotheke Tablette kaufen. Rosen Apotheker, sagt Günther laut. Dann hört ihr genau zu, not zu, jetzt zuhören. Ja, ihr geht los, zuerst geradeaus, dann nach rechts, dann nach links. Sie sind am Ziel. You are at your destination. Hört ihr gehört. Like, richtig. Links neben dem Supermarkt ist die Apotheke. Günther Müller ist blind. Er kann nicht sehen. In seinem MP3-Player ist ein GPS. Das GPS beschreibt den Weg. Super. So, I have to note some things here. Okay. Okay, yeah. So here steht Routenampel. Routenampel. Okay, oder Ampel. Wieder ist richtig. Ampel oder Ampel. Aber Ampel für German.
What the
Ampel.
type now?
Nee. Ich wollte etwas zeigen. Ja, Günther Müller. Günther Müller steht vor einer Routenampel. Routenampel. Warum ist es Routen? Hier steht vor einer Routenampel. Warum? Routen. Because the adjective in this infinitive form is root, red. Okay. Green. So why is it rooting?
Why is it routine?
You know, blau.
Because if anything, ampel is the feminine, yeah, feminine word.
I'm not asking of the
But it's
einer.
routine because vo is the vo is because yeah.
Grau is gray. Yellow is gelb. Gelb is yellow. Violet is lila. Lila is violet. Orange is orange. Orange.
But one articles name count.
Yeah. Colors are adjectives. They are not nouns. Yeah. Welche Farbe bleibt noch? Colors, other colors. Okay. Rosa.
Yeah. Girl. Girl, yeah, yellow.
Rosa is it pink? Or
Schwarz.
yeah, Schwarz is black.
Yeah, white. Is it white? White.
Vice, vice.
White. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm asking why is it written here? It is written because in dative, all adjectives takes en ending. All adjectives, just like in
Okay.
dative, it's called in dative, all adjectives. So if you are
Mm,
describing something in the dative case, when an adjective is describing a noun in the dative case, the
mm,
adjective will take an en ending automatically. Okay,
mm.
yeah, but that is why it's rooted. Okay, so if he's standing and here it's dative because not just because it's verb, but then es gibt hier um es gibt hier ein dative preposition for.
Mm,
Okay,
yeah.
no, yeah,
Okay.
for a dative preposition. Okay, I wanted to clarify that. So roten, the adjective or adjective in yeah, whether it was a nice ample will be net. Okay, it's net means nice, beautiful is schön. Schön is nice. So it would have if it would have been he's standing in front, four is in front of a nice traffic light ampere, it would have been a state for einer netten. Okay, because that if all adjectives takes e and en ending. If he's standing before,
Mm,
he's standing in front of a beautiful traffic light, it would have been schöne. Okay, now, all right, and es gibt auch den. Den was used many times, and I said den means what?
because.
Yeah, because. Okay, so here the first den was
Mm,
used the first day. Where is the first day? Yeah, here. Yeah, the first day. Den an ihrem. So something was mentioned before. They said sie weiß ihr Fahrrad steht in einer
mm,
Straße hinter der Post. Okay.
yeah.
She knows her bicycle is standing in einer Straße, is standing in a street behind the post
Oof, yeah.
because next to I said Anne is at or next to. So next to her bicycle or the at or the in English you say on her bicycle ist ein GPS sender because there is a GPS sender on his bicycle on her bicycle or at maybe on his next to yeah or the at. Okay, good.
Mm,
So because so they is conjunction and it's used to explain reason. Okay, so in German, I already said
okay.
we use den oder was, den over, den oder. What else aside den? What else is used to give reason?
But
While, because. Okay, and their usage is different.
that, that
Better? You know what you said?
that's going
No, no, no. Because we are just because it's while or the day. Okay,
on. Okay.
while or the day,
Yeah.
while or the day. So their usage is different. When you use den, so be
Mm,
den plus subjects plus verb plus object. So basically, after using then, you follow the normal subject verb or object others.
Mm.
Okay. But when you use val, it is val plus subject, the nominative, plus objects, plus others, plus
Mm.
plus, plus the
Yeah.
verb. So the verb will go to the end of the sentence. If there's a
Mm.
subject, that eventually there's always a subject. Yeah. So for when you use okay, second, let's start with they. So I want you to give me to give a sentence and use they, or like say the sentence in English. Maybe this and this because then this is like in English. Then I'll write it down in English. Then you give me the translation in German.
Okay. No.
So just any
Personal
sentence.
meetings. Personal meetings are important because they are important for friendship, for real
Because
friendship.
is that because
They are important.
too many important repetition. They are important. You already said they are
They are
important
important
because
for real friendship.
that's too extreme. Like let's
Mm.
we'll do that later. I will translate that later. But let's stick to beginner sentences like I wake up.
Because he's going to the okay. What you mean?
Yeah, Mr. Gofia, Mapa, yeah.
So can I
Yes.
start with because or like it should be
Yeah, you
a full
can
sentence?
start because
Okay,
he's
because he's
coming.
going to the school. Okay.
Yeah, but I want you to use a sentence like say something, then give it like maybe I wake up in the morning at 6. I wake up in the morning at 6
I wake up in the morning because I have to go to work.
because I have to go to work. Super. Yeah. So after each let's go. Okay.
Ich stehe um 6 Uhr auf,
Mm-hmm.
weil,
No, we are starting with Dane.
okay, den ich muss,
Okay,
ich
now
muss zur Arbeit gehen.
yeah, ich muss zur Arbeit gehen. Yeah. When you use Dane to be the normal, so here Dane is here.
Mm.
Am I published? So Dane, then your subject, your verb, the second position, then so Arbeit in the second verb auch because modal verb was used. Yeah. But in this same sentence, let's try to construct the same sentence
Yeah,
by using val. Mr. Kofo, you
weil,
try.
okay.
Rabbi, what's the meaning of the verb?
Val also means because. Both val and den is
Oh,
because.
okay.
In German, they are used to give reasons why something must happen or why something is being done. Okay, I'm going to school because I wake up at 6 because I have to go to work. Okay, that's the sentence. So their usage is this different, but they are the same. They both means because when you use then, you bring your then in the second clause or the subordinate clause. That's the second sentence. But it will follow, your subject will follow. There's too much noise. Then the subject will follow. The subject will follow. Then the verb, like the normal subject, SV or subject verb order, a subject verb object. Yeah. But when val is used, the structure changes because val will come, but the main verb will go to the end of the sentence. The main verb will go to the end of the sentence. I think that's the difference. So here it will be, if you are to use val, it will be ich stehe 6 Uhr, 6 Uhr auf,
Weil
weil ich zur
ab
Arbeit gehen muss. So our main verb in the second position will come to the end of the sentence.
Yeah.
Example, do you get it?
So I'm a bit confused, Rabbi. Are we following what's on the top of the sentence? The verb
Are
plus
we-
subject plus object plus the others plus the verb.
Yeah, so here we use
Okay.
val here. We use val. Then our sentence without val is ich. Our sentence without val is ich muss zur Arbeit gehen. Okay, that's the subject verb object, or that if there's object or others. Okay, yeah, super. But here, well, immediately we use the val, then the first verb or the verb will move to the end of the sentence. So it's just like you, when you start with the val, you mention your subject, but then the others will follow. Instead of the subject verb, instead of bringing the object, the verb, you go straight to the object or the others, then bring the verb at the end of the sentence. Maybe I think the modal verb is confusing. Let's say I am eating because I'm hungry. Mr. Kufu, I am eating because I am hungry. You can either use then or the verb. Let's go. I am eating because first, let's just construct these two separate sentences. Then you give reason. So I am eating in German is was?
Ich esse.
Ich esse. Okay. I am eating is ich esse. Und I am hungry is
Ich habe Hunger.
ich habe Hunger. Ich habe Hunger. Okay, so we are going to combine it to say to use because. So I am eating because I am hungry will be ich esse. So when you use den, ich esse, den, then it will follow the normal subject verb of objects. Den ich habe Hunger. Okay? But when you use val, it will be ich esse. Mr. Kofi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, Rabbi.
Val.
Okay, so val is Hunger habe.
Yeah, super.
Okay.
So that's a
I
big
get it.
difference. But they both means because, but their usage, quite different. So I know say you'll be tempted to always use them, but it's so sad that in German, like that val is common. The val is the commonest. You hardly hear someone using them. They don't use them because we have this word dan in vain. Yeah. So sometimes Then is then. Okay.
Then
Yeah. So sometimes it's kind of confusing. Sometimes it's difficult, especially when the person has an accent. It will be difficult for you to tell whether the person is saying dan or then. It is big. That is why we use the vowel more, because vowel is different and it has a unique sound. Okay. Sakofo, gate. Yeah. So we're marking weiter. Sakofo, would you like to give another example? The two different sentences, then you combine them using both then and vowel.
Okay.
Yeah. English sentence. We can start with the English sentence.
Okay. So I'm going to the market
Okay, I am going to the market
because my
because
mother
yeah,
is there.
my
My mother works
mother
there. My mother works there.
works there. So there are two different sentences. So give me the first, the German translation for the first part of the sentence. I am going to the market is yeah.
So
Example, I am going.
it's gehe.
Mhm. So when you're saying you're going to the market, we use sum. Okay, okay,
Okay.
summa.
It's going to mat. Yeah.
Mhm. Then the other sentence is my mother works there. What is my mother works there of Deutsch?
Then my mutter.
Okay, okay, you're doing the translate there. Okay. Den, ja, den,
Meine Mutter
meine Mutter, super.
arbeitet dort.
Ja, arbeitet dort oder da. Normally da. Ja, super. Yeah, you see, so can you try to use val?
Okay, let me try. Okay. So is gehe zum Markt, weil meine Mutter da arbeitet.
Super. Ich gehe zum. Okay. So ich gehe zum Markt, weil meine Mutter arbeitet. Ja. Ist das klar? Mhm.
more sentences.
Ja, ja, more.
More sentences.
In Internet tausche ich oft.
Im Internet.
Es gibt große Angebote.
Ja, super. Im Internet tausche ich immer oft, denn es gibt viele, viele was?
Angebot.
Super.
Why can
Yeah,
I
English.
say große? You can use große too. Große Angebot, oder?
Normally, Angebot is like offer. Yeah, but so like the big offers. Yeah, you can buy like once you say Angebot, you say Angebot like in German, the Angebot alone, it carries the something precious or something big or like special. Okay. Yeah. So unless you want to add it, yeah. But angibot is das angibot. So when you use it, then you have to be es gibt viel. Yeah, you have, when you use viele, then you have to use the plural angebote. Okay, that's Angebot, and the plural is Angebot. Is it Angebot or Angebot? So that's Angebot. Yeah, Angebot. Yeah, so plural. Yes, that's Angebot. This Angebot is equal to offer or proposal. Normally offer, the offer. Okay. Yeah. So the plural is the Angebote, because you might use file, many. So many means countable, file, Angebote. Go to the off. Okay, so Mr. Akupu, can you try using val to change the sentence? Can you use the sentence with val?
Okay.
Mhm.
Im Internet tausche ich immer oft.
In internet, tausche ich immer oft,
Weil
weil
ähm, es gibt Angebote viele.
you see, so the verb must come to the end. And here our verb is geben.
Gibt, yeah.
So weil
Es viele Angebote gibt.
ja, weil es viele Angebote gibt. Yeah, so that's the usage between the usage of val on they, but they both means because. Okay, normally the Dane is used in the writing form. That's why you see it in the passage, but normally in the oral communication, that's why I said the val is more common. Then you normally see the Dane in written German, like the passage, but val is more used when speaking. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to throw more light on these fathers. The in dative or adjective takes en ending. When there's an adjective, then the adjective will take an en ending. Okay, regardless of the gender, whether it's feminine, masculine, or the feminine, masculine, or the plural or neuter, regardless. When it's dative, when there's an adjective, it takes an en ending, except when the there is no definite article for the noun. So it's yeah, so that means you only see that in the plural form, the plural dative. But I said sometimes in plural, we use, instead of saying the people, you just say people. Okay, so I'm coming with people. You see, yeah, super, yeah. So then normally to take either, it depends. So whatever you get there, and sometimes to feminine too. Like basically when a definite article is used, the does the dative, then whether the definite or the indefinite article, ein or the die does, ein or the eine, yeah, then the adjective will take an e and end. Unless there is no die does or the ein or the eine, that's when the adjective will rather take the ending of the die does or the ein or eine. I don't want to explain it. Yeah, but I mean that there could be a case that so let's say in this case, if there was no article, the indefinite article, which is ein or that the Adidas, it would have been a state for feminine, ample as feminine. So the ending the adjective would take the ending, the er ending. The state for router ample. Okay, but you got normally we use it or except rare cases. Normally, I think genitive. Yeah, normally you only see that with genitive. But with dative, there's always DD that's on ein. Okay, so it could happen. But most important thing is that in dative or adjective ending, or adjectives used with dative nouns, or adjective used to qualify dative nouns takes en ending,
Yeah. Okay.
regardless of the gender, masculine,
Or
feminine,
adjective.
even everyone take. Super. All right,
Mm,
so back to where we left,
yes.
we left off yesterday. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So here, yeah. So we were going over dative prepositioning, and we said our first dative case is aus. And aus means from or that out of. So I am coming out. It's coming out Ghana. I come from Ghana. Okay, I come out of Ghana, or I come from Ghana. Then I made a second example. I'm coming from the supermarket. Who? I'm coming from the like not even.
it's
I am
common.
coming out. Hmm? So like it's not
Out.
just out, it's out of. Okay. Yeah.
Mm,
So out we use the out. They use it between out and from sometimes it's confusing because from and you see from means out, I from like coming from. I come from. From also means from. From means
mm.
also
Either from or up. Other
yeah. From means from under of. Okay, super.
up.
So
Yeah.
just saying that out also means out of.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you say that I am coming from work, German will say ich
Mm,
komme von der Arbeit. But when you're actively coming out of a place, that's when you use the aus.
okay.
I don't know if you get what I'm trying to explain, but I mean that's what I like you'll get there. So we have our first A is aus. Okay, so I am coming out of the store. Maybe my friend is waiting for me outside. Then okay, my friend has visited me and he or she is outside the gates. Okay, then he's saying that I am he is standing in front of the door. So I will say that I am coming out of the house. So what would be the sentence in German?
I'm coming
I'm
out of
coming
the
out.
house.
Yeah.
Ich komme aus.
Mhm.
Aus.
Dem house oder
Is it the house? That house?
Are you going to ask me at this age, at this time of the year? You're asking me if house is that's or the dear Yima. Bomb do
Oh,
man.
that I can be so confused.
Yeah, so it's coming out the house. Okay.
Ich komme aus dem
Yeah, that's what we
Haus.
use.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
actively when you are actively coming out of the place. In this case, it's coming out. That's like it's not part like that is nation flag. Like I can say it in German. I can like when you use it's coming out. I come from German. That is okay. Okay, but when you are saying say you are actively coming out of a place. Okay, you are actively coming out. You are now coming out of the place. You were inside and you are coming out. That's when you use the house. So I am taking my phone out of the bag, will be I am
Ich
taking
nehme
Mhm,
mein Handy.
mhm.
Ich nehme mein Handy aus die Tasche.
Aus der Tasche.
Aus
Aus der
der
Tasche
Tasche.
because
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah,
Tasche. So
that. Oh, child.
dative it's into der. Okay. Where are you taking it from? Wo. Der aus der Tasche. Okay. Super. More examples. He is coming out of the train. So I said, when you are alighting, we use the aussteigen. So I am coming, I am alighting. Normally, like aussteigen means to come out of either
Aussteigen.
vehicle. Aussteigen. Okay. This I already mentioned it. We've
Yeah.
used it. He said aussteigen. Einsteigen is when you are stepping into a vehicle.
Yeah.
Einsteigen. When you are changing
Yeah.
vehicles to maybe you are changing from a bus to a train, that's umsteigen. Okay. So I'm saying that I am alighting out. In English, it doesn't make sense, but in German, it makes sense. Because in English, you just say I am alighting. But in German, you say I am coming out. When you are, like I said, when you're coming out of a vehicle, you use aussteigen. So I am coming out of the train will be it's bus.
Ich steige aus dem Zug aus. Oder?
Ich steige aus dem Zug. Ja, super.
Au. Okay.
Super. Yeah. So einsteigen, we use einsteigen with in because you are entering in, but then in is a vexel preposition. It's both. It can be used as both dative and and accusative. But because in is vexel preposition, and when you are actively coming out of the train, stepping inside the car or stepping outside, like stepping inside the car, it involves movement. Then it will be different. Ich steige, and I'm stepping inside. Ich steige ins Auto. Because when it involves movements, regardless of the preposition, when the preposition is not a dative preposition, we use the accusative, so it will be in das Auto. Confusion, I was confusion is
Yeah, but you're on track.
never because in accusative only masculine
Yeah.
changes.
Masculine
Boy,
changes.
only masculine changes.
Yeah.
Only masculine changes from there to then. And the rest that
Yeah.
remains as plural D remains E and feminine remains DD. Okay, but yeah, so because of that, it should be a tiger in that's auto I. But like you combine the in plus that's to form ins. Okay. So if you can also say that yeah, ins auto. But here it's not although it's vo. Like where are you like where are you entering? I am entering the car. It's answering the question vo, but because it involves movement, okay, it involves movement, and in is a vexel preposition, means it can either take the dative or the accusative. There's a rule in German that when it involves movement, regardless when the question is vo, if it involves movement, we use accusative when it involves movement, unless the preposition used is a fixed dative preposition. That's why here it's aus dem Zug, because aus is a fixed. Aus is fixed. It's a fixed dative preposition. When you use aus, regardless when it involves movement or not, it will be what dative. But in it's a vexel preposition, means it's both. It can be used as both accusative or dative. Okay, so when the thing is already there, let's say maybe the phone is in my. I think in is somewhere here. If it's there, then okay, it's not there. Okay, yeah, no problem. Here we are learning more. We are learning the fixed dative cases. So okay, let's forget about this. I will talk about it when we reach the vexel preposition. Okay, but just so you know, when it involves movement, we use the accusative unless the preposition used is a fixed dative preposition. Then we go for accusative when it involves movement. That's why here it stays there is that I am stepping outside the train. I am stepping or I'm alighting out of the train. Here we use dem Zug. But if it would have been einsteigen, because einsteigen means you are stepping in, not out. Out is dative, but in is both accusative and dative. And the rule in German says that when it involves movement, we use accusative unless the preposition is a first that we use accusative unless the preposition used is a first dative preposition. If it's not, then we use accusative when it involves movement, when you're actively doing something. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it would have, I am stepping inside the train, it will be ich steige in den Zug, because it's der Zug, in den Zug ein. Okay. In den Zug ein, because I am actively stepping inside or boarding the train.
Yeah.
Mr. Kufo, completion, yeah. Okay, you get it. Super, super, super. I will give more clarification on that when I think after we've already done the accusative, but we haven't gone over the accusative preposition. It's okay. But we'll go over the vexed opposite prepositions, the prepositions that are comsa. They can either behave as dative or the accusative. Okay, super. So if you're marking right, also except, I don't want to go over this, but I'll just mention it. So also is except other, except for other besides. Okay. I'll give more sentences here because also is I think B1 or B2. That's why. Yeah, but if you get it, then fine. Yeah, fine problem. So our next preposition here is by. By, and I said by is we use by when you're actively by, like with a human being. Okay, like yeah, like yeah, super. So yeah, so when you are at it, by means at. So we can either say I am at my grandmother's. So that's when you say that it's been by Oma or that it's been by Großmutter. You can also say it's been by dear Großmutter. Okay, yeah, yeah. So ich wohne bei meiner Eltern. I live with my family because by means at, with, or near. But normally it's not okay, I'm near my, so in natural sense also there, but it means with. Okay, with and by means with. But normally by is more used when you are with a human being. Okay, or you are doing something, yeah, you are with a human being. Yeah. So yeah, then it's is which is used when you are doing when you are like using when you are yeah inanimate objects, yeah, but sometimes you have to use mate with human beings. That's when maybe you are doing something with someone, not actively with the person, not as in you are with the person as in like the state that you are with the person. But maybe if I'm going out with my friends, I'll use mit meine Freunde. Okay. Ich gehe, ich, sorry, ich gehe mit meinen Freunden aus. Okay. Here is dative because in dative case, there and D for plural will change from D to they. D to they. So mine will also be meinen Freunden, plural. Here is the table. And then a question for them. Oh yeah, where is the plural? I guess that's something here. Then.
Well, with Sentence now make it easier.
Yeah.
That is. From then we add n to the end of it. Okay.
Ah, that is not coming. Yeah, you said? Yeah, yeah. For plural, yeah, yeah. But you see, yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. So for dative cases, for dative, basically for dative, everyone takes an ending. Even the nouns, except the noun in its plural form already has an en ending, then you leave it like that. Yeah. For example, when you say that's why here I live with my parents. Yeah, it's funded by my dad. Elton. It's funded by, yeah, when you have to say it's funded by my man Elton. I live with my parents. Here, the Elton already has an N, so there's no need for you to add an N because the plural for parents is the Elton. Okay. If it had no N, then you go for the minus plus an N. But here, the Elton already has an N. Dative is confusing, but it's easy when you grab the concept out too. No, I didn't. Yeah, yeah. I just type it for plural. Plural. uh, Plural nominative is D. Okay. Accusative is also D, but dative is D. Okay. D. Yeah. So when for plural dative, the the subject, the noun will also take an en ending. You go for the D, then the noun will also take an an n ending, an n ending. Yeah. And also the adjective will also take what an en ending. Okay. For example, let's say I'm going out with the children. Who will try? I'm going out.
I'm going on. So ich gehe,
Mhm.
ich gehe mit den Kindern aus.
Ich gehe mit den Kindern
Kindern
aus.
aus.
Yeah, so here the Kinder will take an N. D for plural dative will change to den. Super. So, Kofi, do you get what I'm trying to explain?
Yeah, Rabbi, yeah, I do.
So let's say I am going out with not even I'm going out.
I'm eating dinner with my family.
Yeah. um unless you want to say families, because family is feminine. So like it's essay, I am eating dinner,
Yeah.
I am eating dinner, but already familiar, plural for family, the familiar, feminine is the familiar. So it already has an N ended for familiar. I know if you guess what I am
Mm.
eating dinner. That would be was Mr. Kofi, will you
It's
try?
okay.
Ich esse mit meine Family.
Which ending for the mind?
Meine zu Abend.
It's essay I'm eating dinner with my friend. Let's can you use the some urban for evening food, like for dinner. There's some maybe that's when it's for dinner. There is okay, that's when maybe for dinner there is cooking some urban essen gibt es cooking. When you want to say that I'm eating dinner, dinner here is objects, direct objects. So ist esse
Okay.
Abendessen mit meiner Familie oder ich esse mit meiner Familie Abendessen. And I said because here the with or with whom the beneficiary is your parent. That's why sometimes mates, okay, because it's, if you're doing something for my, maybe I am baking cooking for my mother, it's part of your my the mother cooking. So that's why sometimes the beneficiary comes before the object. But if you don't want any problem, because sometimes it's very confusing when you do it this way. It's very confusing. So sometimes I prefer to stick with my subject verb object. So it will be it's essay, abend essen, mit meiner Familie. Okay. Yeah. There's a subject verb object in here. In a subject verb that's equal to beneficiary, net, then object. So it depends if you are like if you are conversant with it, like if you are very okay using it, always using the starting the like after the verb, putting the beneficiary after the verb, crime problem. Okay, but me, I prefer to use this way, this usage this way, or I will preferably also start the sentence with the beneficiary, mit meiner Familie, let's say, ich Abendessen. And you have options. You can either say that that's Abendessen, or you can ignore it. Kind problem. So did you get it?
Uh,
So
Yeah, Ravi.
yeah, so your sentence is 100% correct. Like all these three, they mean the same thing. They're 100% correct. Okay, super. All right. Uh, sentence came in mind. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. About the most important thing is that you know the endings for that. So endings for the here's that's it. Masculine will change to then, familiar will change, feminine will change to D, from D to der, neuter will change from das to then plural D to den. Okay, marking weiter here. Okay. What is our yeah, so mit so ich fahre mit dem Auto. Okay, because that's if case masculine, sorry, neuter or masculine, neuter or masculine changes from der or das to dem. Okay, so ich fahre mit dem Auto. I travel, I ride, oder I I drive with the car. Okay. So ich gehe mit meinen Freunden aus. I go out with my friends. Okay. Yeah. So by is when we use the by when you are like you are with the person. Okay, not actively doing something with the person, but you are with the person. That's when. So that's it. It's being by at. I am at the doctor's. Okay, I am at it. Another I am with the doctor. Sorry. I live with or that I live at my parents or that I am at my parents. Okay, super. Yeah. So that's the way to mix. Then our next preposition is nak. Nak means to or the after. Okay, after to countries without articles or directions. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So sentence with nak. Other two, yeah. Who try sentence with nak? So
I
this
am
this
traveling
one,
to Berlin.
yeah, super. So our Deutsch will be
Was?
auf Deutsch, Mr. Kofo. I'm traveling to Berlin.
Ich reise,
No, bitte,
ich
ich
reise
reise
nach Berlin. Ich reise
ich reise
nach Berlin.
Berlin. Okay. So when you are going to cities, countries, it's nak. I am going to. Super. And then when you want to say something is after, um, um, yeah, I want to make sentence with nak in the case of after. But normally the after, yeah. So maybe
Maybe after
after,
work I go.
yeah. So
I go
that's when you want to say. So after work will be nak der Arbeit gehe ich ins Fitnessstudio.
Mm.
Fitnessstudio is gym.
Ah,
And here is in das. Just like in Skino is in plus das. Okay, so in plus das will give us ins. Okay, so don't be confused. So you can also always use not to indicate something happening after a noun. Okay, sometimes you can use it to indicate activities, but when you use the activity, then you have to use the activity. You have to use the activity as the verb as a noun. So when you say that after the bathing, not after bathing is different. Too. After the bathing, I take my breakfast to be not the douchen. On the douchen, bathing is douchen. So you need to capitalize the douchen to make it a noun, not the douchen. You said
douche.
not
I
the
will be
douche.
feminine.
No, it's the douche. And I'm because here I'm using it. I'm using the verb, not I'm using the verb that's douchen. The douche is shower. Okay, it's different. So thank you for saying that. So the douche is shower. The douche is shower. But here I'm saying after the bathing. After the bathing. So I'm using the bathing to bath as the noun. So not the duschen, ish, or that close to ish, ish. I eat or that, yeah. But here, when you want to say after the shower, will be nak dear douche. So here is a noun. The douche is already a noun. So nak dear douche is a ish. So I'm just saying that sometimes when you're not sure of the noun, okay, you're not sure of the noun that you want to, the noun of the verb. Maybe let's say you are talking with your friend, okay, or you're having a conversation with your friend, and you want to be like, oh, after talking with you, I want to visit the shower. I want to talk with my, I want to do something else. Yeah, maybe I want to eat after talking with you. ideally after conversation is that's express. Okay, I'm getting to some. I hope so you are following. That's express. Okay, then I'm three. Umlaut.
Umlaut.
So that's express. So I want to say that after our conversation, I am eating. So nak dem Gespräch. So here is the now. It's the each. I'm eating after the conversation. Okay, that's when here I know the noun for conversation. But when I don't know the noun for conversation, and I want to be like after we are done talking, I'm going to eat. I'll be nak dem reden, because to talk is reden, but here you use it as a noun. Nak dem reden is the ish. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why I said you can nominalize verbs, but then when you use the verbs as a noun, then you need to write it the first letter in capital for us to indicate that you are using the noun. You are turning the verb into a noun. Okay. Yeah.
So what can they now using new tana? What can verb in the corner?
Well,
Does it the article
all verbs, yeah. All verbs.
Okay.
All verbs are das. All verbs. When you turn all verbs to nouns, they are das. Okay. Yeah. So because this can also be confusing, the German said that if you don't know the noun and you want to just use sentence to indicate something happening after something, activities have then use nachdem. Okay. So here our first sentence here is nach der Arbeit gehe ich ins Fitnessstudio. So when I don't know the noun for Arbeit, the work, I will just say that nach dem, after I am done working. Nach dem ich gearbeitet habe, going to be hard after I had worked. Like normally not them, when you use the not them, it means something is happening, something happening after something. So normally not them is used in the Vergangenheit, in the past. Okay. But you can also use it in the present, maybe after eating, maybe after I am working, So not them is arbeite, but normally I said in the Vergangenheit. Not them is, so like even when you are not them is gearbeitet habe, after I am done working, hatte gehe ich ins Fitnessstudio.
Let me question.
After I am done working, yeah. After I'm done working, I am going to the gym. You get it?
Yeah. More question.
Ask a question.
I want to say sometimes when we say we use adverbial place of time and place after that the verb must come. But other than that, say after knock them subjects by answer na verb, more.
Knock them.
Is it because they knock them on?
Yeah. So knock them it's used just like vowel. When you use knock them. So in English, even also in English, it's the same thing. But we don't. Let's say in English, sometimes you're shifting the main verb to the end of the sentence. But because you were brought up in English, you don't notice it. Because like I said, after I had worked, and I said after I am done working. So working will go to the end of the sentence. But in the normal sentence, you say I am working. But when you use after I am done working, you say because not them. In English, because after I have done working. The working goes to the end of the sentence. Okay.
Okay. And we I said
also, not them is vowel, just like that's vowel, not them. So we have a lot of conjunctions. Sometimes you have strictly you have to put the verb to the end of the sentence. Yeah. When you use nachdem, then you have to shift the verb to the end of the sentence. Okay, but that's not the focus here. I was just teaching the nak. Nak means it's a preposition for after or to. Okay, ich reise nach Berlin. Ich reise nach. Yeah, super. We will get there. The business will like them again in the future. But I was just trying to give various ways you can use nak in sentences. You can just use the nak after the noun to indicate that after the noun you are doing this. So nak der Arbeit, I am going to fitness to do. Simple, you are right. But yeah, you can also turn nouns, verbs into nouns. When you're not sure of the noun of the verb, that's when you can turn the verb into noun. Yeah, not them douching is after the activity of bathing. I am what eating. But when you know the noun for bath, which is the shower, means the douche. Okay, which when it not because not is a fixed preposition, it changes from D to der. That's why here is not der douche to indicate after the shower, I am eating. Okay, and the noun for conversation is das Gespräch. When I know the noun for the conversation, then I will just say nach dem Gespräch, I am eating. But when I don't know the noun and I want to, I can use the verb. I can nominalize the verb. I can nominalize. Is it?
If you don't know the article,
not even just the article. When you don't even know the noun of the verb that you want to use, okay, you can just turn the verb into. You can nominalize. You can turn the verb into a noun. Okay. Then reading means to talk. So I will just say instead of using the normal after the conversation I'm eating, I can just after the talking, it will be not the reading. It's the ish. Okay, you are right. And also we have another conjunction which is nakdim. Nakdim is afterwards or that after something afterwards. So using normally afterwards is used in the past. Okay. But then you can also indicate that, yeah, it's always mostly it's used in the past, but then when you use nakdim to your verb will go to the end of the sentence. So you can use the nakdim, but when you use the nakdim, you have to use the activity instead of because the dim here is binded with the nak, so you can't attach any noun to it. So you use the nakdim, then it will be a conjunction. So it will be a nakdim, your subject, then the others will follow. So nakdim is the arbeitet habe. After I am done working, I am going to fitness studio. So here I didn't say after the work. I said I use activities here. After I am done working, I am going to fitness to the gym. Okay. But here, like I said,
what if you
very
don't
small.
have an article like after working, after studying? Is it the same?
Ask the question again.
Like, what if I say after studying, I will go to bed? I won't say after I study or after the studying. I just say after studying.
So you just use your nakdim. What is study? The studies after in German.
Studium.
Yeah. No, studium is the studies. That's course. Okay, so you can just say after learning, I want to sleep. Okay, but yeah, so knock them learning. You turn the learning into knock them learning. Yeah, but like I said, oh yeah, it's easy, but it has a disadvantage. Like I said, there are some cases that the knock them now we can knock them is for the past. So when you want to say that you want to say that after I learned, I went to bed. You can say knock them. You can say knock them lazy. The nation is bed. They can get like in the actual sense, it doesn't make sense in German. So we prefer to use the knock them like after or something happening. Yeah. So it will be nachdem ich gelernt hatte. After I had learned, in English, it would there. You won't say I have learned. You say I had learned because the learning happened before you go into bed. So after I had learned, I went to bed. In English, you can say after I have learned, I went to bed. That is fast. So in German, it's the same thing. That's the in English. Is it the Plusquamperfekt? So when you use the nachdem, then you have to use the past. So you can't escape. You can't escape this nachdem. When you want to indicate something happening in series, something happened after something in the past, then you have to use the nachdem. But in the present, when you are just actively talking, like want to use something is happening after something, then you can use the nachdem. It will work for you. But then when you want to say that something happened before something, then you can't escape nachdem. Okay. But like I said, today nachdem is not our topic here. How to use nach. Okay. So when you don't know the verb, the noun of the verb, you can just use nachdem tuition, but you make sure that you capitalize it to make sure to help others
That one, is
understand
it
that.
only for nachdem or any normal sentence? Is it only
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
nachdem or
You can use for. So we're going to say that before you went to bed, for is before. For oh no, I'm from for and I
yeah.
have done for. Yeah, so for is also that thing. Don't trust AI. AI in a bastard. Yeah, so you go to for before we even continue. So for means in front or before. Okay. So our sentence for will be, so you want to say that I'll clear this nachdem. Later we get to nachdem. Yeah, so for you want to say that before you go to bed, you read a book. Hey, sorry, we are sticking to prepositions, or like we are going overboard. So for I'm standing in front of the house with the what? The mama may go overboard. You first take
Stay
yeah,
for the house.
you stay here
Them house.
for the house. The car is in front of the library.
The out
Yes.
that auto state for the apotheke. No bibliothèque, sorry.
Their bibliothèque.
The
Their bibliothèque.
bibliothèque.
Super. Yeah. So when you want to say that something is happening, maybe about a hundred. Okay, you want to say that before reading, like before you go to bed, you read a book. Okay. You have before, like the for is used for now, for now. So give me a sentence, not activity. What I just said was an activity. When you say something, oh, English.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me a sentence in English. You want to say that
Before
in house? No. When you use before, it's not like it's before, but then not before. Before is the when you want to indicate before, when you use before, then you have to use activity. So before is before in German. So it will be used like nachdem, like combined nachdem. Okay, but then I want to say that for them house steht ein Baum. There is a tree in front of the house will be. There's a tree in front of the house. Who will try?
es gibt ein Bau vor dem Haus. Und es gibt Ernährung.
Yeah, es gibt. Yeah, that's entirely wrong. Es gibt was? What did you say? You
Eine
know?
Bau.
So then the four will come before. Es steht Es gibt vor dem Haus ein Baum. Because that's why I said when you use the nach over here, we use nach der Arbeit, then the verb follows. Okay, the verb followed. Okay, before the object with the preposition witness to do so here. So es gibt vor dem Haus ein Baum. So in a normal sense, that's why I always say it's easier to start the sentence with the thing that you are talking about. So for them house, then your verb will follow. For them house gibt es ein Baum. Where do you get it? Your sentence was es gibt ein Baum vor dem Haus. Yes, and now you are saying it's said you can say it's I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, ein Baum, yeah. I skipped I den Baum, super. Yeah. So in German, when you're talking about something in existence, something that can stand, we use stehen. Okay, so you go for them house. So es gibt, and that's why I said es gibt is not wrong, but then for them house steht ein Baum. Steht, yeah, ein Baum. So here the Baum will be the subject, but here the S is the subject. That's why the S the Baum takes the einen. Okay, but there is a tree standing in front of the house. Yeah, it's a South Christisch auf Deutsch. Okay, so before an American, when you use the before, they have to use it just like the now. Before I go to bed, to be before ish in split here, may rush over it because they're not them and before. No? It's not part of our agenda for today. We are just supposed to learn these prepositions and how they are used. Okay, but before and nothing, no, I'm just brushing up. So we use the before and afterwards for describing series of activities. So before I go to bed, before ich ins Bett gehe, lese ich ein Buch. You can't say before ich ins Bett gehe, ich lese ein Buch. Das ist falsch. It will be ich lese ein Buch before ich ins Bett gehe oder before ich ins Bett gehe, lese ich ein Buch. Like I said, just like the next name, it's not important. That's not our agenda. But then just know that for means in front or that before, but not before for describing activity, but something before something. Okay, something is standing or that in existence before something. Okay, Ima, do you get it? Do you all get it?
Yeah, class.
Yeah.
Karen, yeah. Okay, we are just okay, super. Yeah. Then our next verb is our next verb, preposition is seit. Seit means since, and also seit we can use seitdem, ever since. Okay, so like almost all the prepositions, you can use them to describe series of activities. So ever since he left me, I said ever since she left me, I've not been able to eat. But then since means just use it before now. We are learning how to use it before now instead of describing series of activities. So when you are using them to describe series of activities, that's when you use seitdem, nachdem, on before. Okay, but then the preposition in its infinitive form is since. So here es gibt there is an example here. Ich lerne Deutsch seit 2 Jahren. Okay, so the plural for das Jahr is the Jahre, the years is the Jahre. But because it's plural here, then they now also take what? An ending. An ending. Site 2 years. In the normal sense, it will be I've learned so you can't just skip the site, okay? Yeah, so site also requires dative preposition. Sorry, it's also a dative preposition. It requires the noun to be in the dative case. So seit 2 Jahren. But the normal sense is the Jahre. But because the nouns and the plural form in the dative case also goes under declension, they take an n ending for all plural nouns, except the noun already in its plural form has an n ending. Then you leave it like that. Okay, so it's the Jahre, but since 2 years, then seit 2 Jahren. So we'll try to make a different sentence with seit, since, not ever since though, since maybe my
Born in
let's say, yeah, bitte. And here, for also means ago, ago, ago in English, and maybe like 2 years ago. Okay, sorry, Sam, it's hard more much, but it's also important. Maybe 2 years ago will be what? Vor 2 Jahren. 2 years ago, I bought a car. Vor 2 Jahren habe ich ein Auto gekauft. When you say we haven't done the past, but I'm just, yeah, habe ich ein Auto gekauft. Habe ich ein Auto. Okay. To buy is kaufen, but the past tense of that we've already done presence up until now.
Yeah.
Everything we've been doing is in the present form. Okay, so I understand maybe there'll be a little bit confused, but I'm just making an example. The for also means ago. Okay, so you want to say that your grandfather died 2 years ago. Then, like normally when you use for, you can't just you have to use the past tense. So my grandfather, maybe my Großvater ist vor 2 Jahren gestorben. To die is sterben. The past tense form is gestorben. Okay, like I don't need to focus, but I'm just trying to explain that the for can also mean ago. So you can 2 months ago will be the month is der Monat. Okay, the month when the plural for month is the Monate. Okay, so when you want to say 2 months ago, I started learning German two months ago. I started because you are actively still doing it. You didn't use it in the past. Okay, I started learning German 2 months ago. You're still learning it. So it's lerne Deutsch seit was? Sorry. Two months ago. I started learning 2 months ago. Like you have to use the site. Yeah, I've been learning German since 2 months ago. When you use the for use for them, it will be in the past tense. Yeah, but let's do. Yeah, for it's lerne Deutsch. It's lerne for 2 Monate. I started learning German 2 months ago. It's like vor 2 Monate habe ich mit Deutsch lernen angefangen. Anfangen means
But can you use beginning?
you said? Yeah, to begin or to start. I started. Yeah.
About Monate, no, Adena, a number.
Oh, wait,
Sorry.
So it was on. So yeah, and I kind of focus. So the Monate will take an n ending. So the typing mistake. Yeah. So here, the Monate, the plural is, but then because for is also a dative preposition, then it will take what the noun also take an n ending. You want to say you started learning German 2 beautiful months ago. Like I know it doesn't make sense, but I just want to add an adjective here so that you see how the adjective will also undergo its declension. So it will be for 2 Stunden. Okay, like I said, all adjective will take what en ending in dative
that
case. In dative case, regardless whether it's masculine plural or the neuter, you take an en ending. Okay, super. In English, this sentence doesn't make sense, but in German, when I say vor 2 Stunden Monaten habe ich mit Deutsch lernen angefangen. When I say this way, like Germans will, oh, 2 beautiful months ago, like in the sense that, oh, that past 2 months has been beautiful for me. Okay, like it was a life-changing decision. Yeah, so something like that. But in English, I started learning German 2 months, 2 beautiful months ago, too. Yeah, but you can say 2 stressful months. It's like, yeah, stress again. Yeah, super. Yeah, since so when you use since normally, so here's our sentence. Ich lerne Deutsch seit 2 Jahren Deutsch. Ich lerne Deutsch seit 2 Jahren. You say, yeah, did I type that? Ich lerne Deutsch. Yeah, das got to me. Yeah, so ich lerne Deutsch seit 2 Jahren oder ich lerne seit 2 Jahren Deutsch. Okay, the beide is richtig. And I make it just to avoid confusion. You can also start the sentence that seit 2 Jahren lerne ich Deutsch. Okay, I always prefer to start the sentence with the prepositions. Okay, especially when there's a noun follows the preposition, but that way it's easier to arrange the rest of the sentence. Your verb will follow your subject, and the others will also join. AI. It wasn't AI. It was AI. Yeah, German is super. German is super. Charlie. Like it, like they follow rules. So once you get yourself used to the rules, you can make any sentence that you want. But like I said, since when you say something since, so when you use the site, the thing is still going on. That's why here you said in English you said I have been learning German since 2 months ago. In the raw sense, this is past tense. Okay, this is past tense. I have been learning German 2 months ago. But in German, when you use the site, since means you are still learning it. That's why here we use the learning in the present form. So let's say I started working here 2 months ago. When you say I started working here, or like I am working here since 2 years ago. In English it doesn't make sense, but in German, I have been working here 2 months ago. I have been working here 2 months ago. Yeah. So who tried?
seit 2 Jahren.
Seit 2 months, not years.
Die Monaten, so
Monaten
arbeite ich.
arbeite ich hier. Super. I'm working here. I'm working here. Here. I'm working here for because you're actively doing it. So Zeit is normally when you use Zeit, you have to use the thing in the present form because the sense means you're actively doing it. Okay. So yeah. It was one of my early challenges. I was like, in English, you say, I have been learning German for 2 years. I have been working here. So in this sentence, like you are using have been working. That's the past tense. So like, why do I have to use? So like, I was always like, I will say that, I will say that when I started, I said that ich habe seit 2 Jahren Deutsch gelernt. Okay, but then eventually, eventually I got used to it. I had no choice because grammatically that was wrong. When you use Zeit, you have to indicate referring to a period of time, but in the normal sense, the Zeit means the thing is actively going on. Okay, they want to say that but when you want to indicate that your grandfather died 2 months ago, you won't say Zeit, you say for because that's a go here. You have to use for. The thing is not happening anymore. The person is dead. he or she is not continuously dying. Okay, then you have to use for. Okay, super. Then fun. Fun means from or of. Okay, that's autophone, my them father. Okay, who will try to make other sentence with fun?
The familiar phone on
Familiar
Collins their time.
from Collins. Fist. So like show my why. She Collins who's all right. So I said that in English you can say the family of Collins, or or you can say Collins family. So they are all right. Because the familiar from Collins, or that Collins familiar. Collins familiar. Okay. This is Klein. Yeah. Another sentence with fun. From order of.
H come on Marcus.
Yeah. So I said when you're actually coming from a place, that's when you use out. Like I'm coming out of the place, okay. But when you're coming from somewhere, not even somewhere, like yeah, you're coming from somewhere, you're returning from somewhere. Yeah. So I don't know, say choosability. No, yeah, but you are right. It's, yeah, it's coming from. I'm coming from who? Marcus. So I am coming, I'm returning from church will be what? Ich komme
Yeah.
von der Kirche. Okay. So I said when you are actively coming out of the place to like you are getting out of the place, no beginning outside keka, you use out of, that is house. But when you're asked, what we do, you are now at your destination. Where are you coming from? Where are you returning from? That's when you use from. But when you are actually coming out of the place, that's when you use out of house.
Okay.
Yeah. German. It's beautiful. Is that going to be over?
The material.
Right, you know, the man I bebree.
So please, I know that's if normally that's if some teachers they prefer to teach that in A2, but then you can't escape it. Like you can't escape that if. Okay, so yeah, prepositions, like preposition on its own is a broad topic.
Yeah.
Prepositions is a broad topic in German. Normally we even use three weeks to study prepositions. Okay, prepositions, but then right now they kind of last one. Because I'm just when you are actively coming out of something, out of a place to come outside of it. You're coming outside of it. Then you use out.
What could be a restaurant and a Uber? Uber is house.
So Accra no, the school no, the school is over. Maybe the school is over. The school is over. After this, then we are done. The school is over. Okay. When the school is over, then the children will come out of the school. Okay, they'll come outside the school. They'll stand outside, like out of their classroom. So then that is house. Okay, so the kinder, common, house, Schule means now out of the school. They are standing outside the school. But when they get home and their parents ask them, "Where are you coming from?" Then you be the child can answer, "Ich komme von der Schule." Because yeah, I am coming from school. I'm not like right now, I'm already at my destination. So I'm not coming out of the school. I am coming from the school. But then if I'm coming out of the school means I am coming to stand outside. So when maybe the parents are picking them out, they will tell the child, come out, aus der Schule, come out of the school. Okay, come and stand outside the school. Okay, but when they get home, like when you reach your destination, you phone. So when I get home, when I get home after work, and someone asks me where are you coming from, ich komme von
House.
hier.
Phone. Phone answer the question of like where are you from? It
From
answered the
where?
question. From where? Where are you
From
coming
where
from?
are you coming from? Okay. So like maybe now answers the question, where are you coming from? So maybe I'm a friend with now downstairs, no waiting for me, or say, like Charlie, I'm standing outside your door. Where are you? Then I say, I'm coming out of my room. It's coming out my name Tema. I am coming out of my room. I'm standing down there. Okay, I'm actually coming out. So let me not answer the question, where are you coming from? But then it depends. So when or beside say if I will free like who peer free, but then I am coming out of my room. But me drew or no beside me say my friend asked me, where did you come from? I said, where are you coming from? Right now I've reached my destiny. Where then I will be like I came from my room. It's been fun. My name is the comment. Abracadabra, may say fun is when
Right.
you've reached your destination. Okay, then out of is when you are actually coming out of the place.
You coming with me on?
We'll continue from here tomorrow. Okay, kind problem. All right.
But all the proposition like I said, it changes everything. Like all the proposition last statement, man. I was all doing like is it 30? You have to apply you like it changes everything. More really
Yeah, I get you, but I'd say so. It's better to understand. Even when you understand it, sometimes you understand it, but when you are speaking, you forget to use
yeah.
it. Well, probably,
That's it.
well, probably, well, probably, time I'll pay. That's the favorite. I don't even know. So, yeah, sorry. Yeah. So then the crime I make. So it's better to understand. Okay. If you understand it, all right, here, use it. But sometimes when you are speaking now, you have to think a lot. So sometimes it wouldn't even come in mind to use it. But like maybe and I said like it's better to understand. So yeah, when you are reading, let's say you see something of that sort, you know, your record say this is why it is so. So eventually you get used to it. Then later you start using it too. You get used to it. So it's better to understand right now. Okay. Yeah, but egal. Okay, so we'll continue from here. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay. You said
Yeah, Paul.
yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely. So please, before you leave, please, who has gone through the file, this file here? Please make revision. Okay, go through it. Okay, they assuming I typed everything here. This file, all the sentences are here. Okay, make revision on it. Like write everything down. Okay, yeah. So now more access. So when you access the file, me I see who access the file. But we won't access no one will be seen will be access to the file. It may no more shine for sovereign but then here is where we keep all our sentences, like whatever thing that's every notes during the class, we make them here. So please, all right. So the small just